It contains multiple synthetic ingredients in your food. Oh my God, am I the only person on earth that is freaked out by this? What's up, guys? It's Devin Harrington, the average Gen Xer, and welcome back to my channel, where today I am going to be sharing some absolutely diabolical facts about fast food. So, if you eat fast food, if you have children who eat fast food, if you know children who eat fast food, and we all do, you should know what you are setting yourself and those kids up for just by consuming this food. So let's get to it. Okay, so this is part 3 of my little book review of the fantastic book Fast Food Genocide by Dr. Joel Ferman. And this book actually came out in 2017, I think, but it is even more relevant today than it was 8 years ago. So let's check it out. But first, this is the part of the video where I beg and plead with all animal lovers to please consider fostering or volunteering on site with your local animal shelter. It's super easy. Just go to the website. Every shelter usually has a website. Go there, look up fostering or volunteering. There is almost always a form to fill out, and then they will be thrilled to have you. As I say on every video ad nauseum, there is a huge crisis going on in the animal shelter system. There are far more animals than can be cared for. There is a lack of volunteers, resources, space. It's really terrible. And millions of healthy animals are put to death just for a lack of space every year. So if every animal lover would just help out a little bit, we'd be in a lot better shape. So please give it some thought. Thank you. Okay, so according to Dr. Joel Ferman's book, and he does have citations listed for every fact that he lists, but I won't bore you with the details. All 185 of you who are probably going to watch this video, but that's okay. We're still going to spit some facts. Humans were designed to eat specific natural substances in a balanced way, but now we eat a wide variety of unnatural substances in an unbalanced way. And we have done so to such a degree that most people have lost their taste and desire for life-giving whole foods. And this is mostly about America, but as we know, we have spread our filth and disease all over the world with fast food joints. So wherever people are eating this crap, they are suffering. As a result, most Americans now prefer to eat foods that we know shorten our lives and damage our brains. Damage our fucking brains. Think about that. You're giving your kid a Happy Meal, it's causing brain damage. That's fucked up that we allow this to go on. Now that we have all this information at our fingertips, we are feeding children garbage that we call food that we think is normal because it's everywhere, and it is doing damage to them actively as they are eating it, as they are growing up with all these chemicals in their brains. It is shameful. Okay, he goes on. This damage also alters our genetic structure. Changes to our DNA accumulate from eating commercially designed foods that are incompatible with our genetic design. These gene defects have devastating consequences, but also can be passed on to our children and grandchildren. If nothing is done, the harmful effects of our fast food diet will continue through future generations, creating a decline in population intelligence. We certainly have seen that in the US in the past 50 years. Anyone? Hands up if you disagree. People are fucking stupid in this country for the most part. If nothing is done, the harmful effects of our fast food diet style today will continue through future generations, creating a decline in population intelligence and an increase in autism, learning difficulties, childhood cancers, diabetes, and other serious metabolic abnormalities as people mature, further weakening the delicate fabric of our society. So, what your grandmother ate affects you. What your grandmother ate in her life before she had your mother affects your mother. And then if your mother ate tons of processed food, that's going to set you off to a bad start right out the gate. It's incredible that we allow this to happen. Okay, so addiction to fast food is likely the most far-reaching and destructive influence on our population today. Think of all the drugs that Americans consume. I think we consume like 25% of all the drugs on planet Earth. Not just illegal drugs, but prescription drugs. And yet food addiction is an even bigger problem, and we don't even recognize that. What are you talking about? We're taking the kids to McDonald's after the soccer game. Is there anything more wholesome than that? Anything more all-American? Yeah, autism, poverty, obesity, diabetes. That's the American way now. Because of this, because of our fucking food system. Okay, moving on. He continues. Fast food is defined as food served at commercial chain restaurants where processed meats, pizza, burgers, french fries, pretzels, soft drinks, and rich desserts are made in an assembly line process with commercial ingredients that are duplicated and dispersed all over the world, meaning it's the same. You go get a cheeseburger at McDonald's in America, the same cheeseburger on the other side of the country, the same cheeseburger anywhere you go to a McDonald's. Secondly, it is any commercially made food that includes artificial ingredients, processed grains, sweeteners, salt, and oil with minimal nutrient content. Most of us are aware that many chain restaurants aren't serving up healthy foods, but the second definition of fast food is often confusing to many and just as lethal. These fake foods, the frozen waffle, the deli sandwich. I mean, deli sandwiches. Like, I grew up, my parents ran an industrial catering truck. That's all we ate was subs and chips and soda. It just seemed so normal. And yet now, is it really meat on your deli sandwich? You know, we like to think it's turkey and cheese and corned beef. All of that stuff is all processed. It is disgusting when you really dig into what it is we are eating. Okay. The frozen pizza, the bag of chips, and much more are easily available at our local supermarkets and convenience stores. Processing foods removes and destroys the fragile micronutrients and phytochemicals we need for cellular normalcy, and it also adds toxins. Toxins in your food that you give to your children. What the fuck are we doing here? I am astounded. I am astounded. And look, I know I don't have kids, so who am I to talk about what you should feed your children? No, I'm nobody. But this book is not wrong. And the human race survived without fast food for thousands and thousands and thousands of years before the 1970s, when it suddenly became everywhere. So why can't we start cooking again? I mean, meal services are probably the equivalent or less of what you're paying for fast food. But we are hooked on the convenience and the quickness and the ease of consumption. And that is how we have got to this point in society. Okay, he goes on. Toxins added to fast foods and processed foods include artificial colors, artificial flavors, preservatives, pesticides, anti-foaming agents, emulsifiers, stabilizers, and thickeners. And these are used to give foods the texture and consistency that consumers expect. Added toxins also include cleaning chemicals, whitening chemicals, and packaging components. Fast foods are toxic. They accelerate death through these added toxins, but also by supplying concentrated calories without substantial fiber or the micronutrients humans need to sustain a normal life. And that is why there are people out there who are hundreds and hundreds of pounds overweight, and yet they suffer from malnutrition because what they eat is trash and doesn't have the vitamins and minerals that the human body needs to keep going. That is just astounding to me. Okay, so we have established that fast food causes disease. Food that causes disease. We cannot hide from this anymore. Your chicken nuggies that your kids love are causing disease and brain damage. Dr. Ferman goes on, the more you eat of it, the fatter and sicker you become, and the faster you age. Yikes. Here's a fact for you. Eating fast food kills more people prematurely than smoking cigarettes. Let me say that again, because that is fucking crazy. Eating fast food kills more people prematurely than smoking cigarettes. How pathetic are we that we have let America come to this? That more people die from eating all this processed trash that we make than from smoking cigarettes. It's unbelievable. A person who eats fried foods, fast food, and processed food has at least 10 times the heart attack risk of someone who eats reasonably healthy. What? Also, eating fast food 2 or 3 times per week increases the risk of dying from coronary artery disease more than 50%. 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, don't we all know people who take their kids for fast food way more than that? There are people whose kids won't eat anything other than fast food because they're so addicted to the chemicals, the extreme flavors. It's so sad. Another fact, the greatest risk was found when subjects ate fast food 4 or more times weekly. The risk of dying from coronary artery disease rose to 80% under those conditions. Even eating fast food just once a week increased heart disease risk by 20%. And so now he lists the characteristics that fast food has. 1, it is digested and absorbed rapidly. So it's not that you're shoving it in your face rapidly. You could sit and eat and have a nice lunch, eat your quarter pounder or whatever, your Royale with cheese. But your digestive system goes through it and absorbs it rapidly because it's made that way to be easily palatable, ultra palatable, and easily assimilated because there's nothing to it. There's no nutrients in it to put somewhere in your body. What the hell? It contains multiple synthetic ingredients in your food. Oh my God, am I the only person on earth that is freaked out by this? It is calorically dense. Okay, we knew that. High in calories. It is nutritionally barren, so lacking in nutrition because it's so processed. There is no real fiber. There's no It is highly flavored. Now, I cannot confirm or deny this, but I have heard that there are labs that fast food corporations employ people at to invent the smell and the flavor of their food. And then it's essentially added or sprayed on or whatever. Whether or not that's true, I mean, I fucking believe it at this point. Look at the state of the people in this country. And I realize England is right behind us in obesity, and, everywhere processed fast food spreads, people get sick and fat. I mean, it's so freaking obvious, but it's a legal addiction, and it's got that, yay, we're going to McDonald's kind of thing, and it's so wholesome, and it's so not. We have been sold a bill of goods that we should be embarrassed that we fell for it. Okay, and it contains excess salt and sugar. The faster the calories of a food enter the bloodstream, the higher the release of fat storage hormones. And the greater the increase in dopamine, and we all know what dopamine is, right? That makes you feel good. It's the driver of addiction in the brain. And trust me, I've been chasing the dopamine high my entire adult life because I was raised on processed trash. Because of these hormonal effects, fast foods initiate and perpetuate food addiction and cravings. The chief fat storage hormone, as we all know probably, is insulin. And the excessive insulin response to fast food leads to the promotion of fat storage, weight gain, cellular replication, and eventually cancer. Now, I know I'm going to get some comments saying, well, my dad died of cancer and he never ate fast food in his life. And yes, to every rule, there is an exception. Everything about the human body is on a spectrum, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, there's going to be people that never eat processed food and they still die of some terrible disease. That can happen, unfortunately. But you are just handicapping yourself by eating this trash. And God knows what you're doing to your kids by feeding them this. Okay, so we all know that processed fats, fried foods, oil, all of that is toxic. All of it is bad for you. And the book says processed fats and oils are certainly bad for you, but sugar and white flour take the cake, no pun intended, as the most dangerous fast food ingredients. According to accumulating evidence, these high glycemic carbohydrates, with their huge glycemic load, are the most powerful obesity-causing, diabetes-causing, heart disease-causing, and even depression-causing components of fast food. White sugar, white flour. The tragedy of the human race. And I am not being dramatic when I'm saying that. White sugar and white flour, I could say, ruined my life, destroyed the life I wanted to have. And I've never been morbidly obese. I've been obese, but I've never been horribly overweight. But I've eaten a lot of processed trash and become addicted to it. And once your brain is addicted, it never ends. So do you really want to doom your kids to that? Okay, some more facts. A high glycemic diet is linked to colon cancer, good times, breast cancer, endometrial cancer, lung cancer. You don't just get lung cancer from smoking. There are plenty of people that have gotten lung cancer that have never smoked a cigarette or never smoked a joint. And I don't know how that works, but a high glycemic diet has been linked to it. And high glycemic, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a nutritionist of any kind, I'm just a person who reads a lot and who is disgusted by the state of America today. And when you eat this carby, that bready stuff, French fries, fried in oil, all of that stuff, you eat it, your body goes, holy shit, there is a ton of sugar in our bloodstream now, put out some insulin. The insulin goes out, like the police, gathers up all of the sugar in the blood and sweeps it away to the fat cells where it stores as fat. And so that is what they mean by a high glycemic. And if you're eating this crap all the time, your pancreas is putting out just way more insulin than the human body was ever meant to deal with. And that's how you get diabetes and metabolic syndrome and a whole host of other crap. So high glycemic diet is also linked to pancreatic cancer because we abuse our pancreas, making it put out more insulin than it was ever meant to do. And prostate cancer. Fast food is not just loaded with sugar, sweetening agents, and chemicals. It also contains high fructose corn syrup and other products made from white potatoes and white flour. And to make things even worse, fast food is usually fried in oil, which increases its glycemic rush. So it's not just carbs. This oil they fry their shit in also increases the glycemic load. Obesity promoting potential and toxicity. Fry white flour, sugar, and artificial flavorings and colorings in an oil, and you have a donut, a frankenfood linked to a high risk of death. Guess what my parents did? This is how my food addiction started. My parents ran a catering truck. You know, they sold sandwiches and coffee, donuts, pastries, whatever, cigarettes, which I stole many of, along with the candy bars that they sold. But the donuts were the big thing because they were out early in the morning. And at the end of the day, whatever pastries were left over, they'd put them in a little box and cover it with a plastic bag, a soda box, so it was open on the top, and it would sit in the middle of our kitchen table. And every negative emotion I had, I would sneak over there and try to silently steal more donuts. And that is no way to raise a well-adjusted adult. Just saying. Okay, just a couple of more facts about fast food, and here is a disturbing one. There is an epidemic of junk food addiction in many of our inner cities, where a lack of access to fresh produce keeps segments of society sickly, sluggish, and mentally burdened, and thwarts their chances for educational and economic opportunities. That could not be more sad. I just, I don't even know what to say about that. Why have we allowed this to happen? I mean, we're the richest country in the history of everything. We can't put grocery stores, well-stocked grocery stores in inner cities? It's absurd that goes on. And here I am screaming into the void about it. I don't even have kids, so why would I care, right? Well, because what we're doing is bad for the entire fucking human race. It's bad for the planet. It's horribly bad for all the animals that are forced to be made into this crap and live a life of suffering before they have the privilege of being ground up into your Big Mac. Okay, last one. Dr. Ferman says, feeding sweetened soda, donuts, cake, and junk food, sounds like my entire childhood, to children is practically the same as handing them a shot of whiskey or lighting up a cigarette for them. There is just a small degree of difference between one addictive, dangerous substance and another. The same brain centers are stimulated by cocaine, narcotics, and super sweetened foods. It is debatable which is more deadly, as so many people eat super sweetened foods multiple times a day, every day. And yes, guilty. Guilty. I've said many times on this channel, I've been a sugar addict since I was 9. It is the hardest addiction to overcome. And I say that as someone who was addicted to heroin for years when I was younger. So it's not a joke. It's not funny. It seems normal to us. It is not normal. Good Lord, please wake up. And that is what I have for you today, folks. If you made it to the end of this video, I thank you so much. You are indeed a trooper. This has been a tough video to make because it's very unpleasant, and a lot of people don't want to know this information. They just want to go on blindly eating the stuff they like and not worry about it. It's just food. Food is food, right? Anyway, let me know what you think. If you like this video, please like it. Please comment below. Let me know, how much fast food do you eat? Did you know any of this stuff about fast food? Do you know that it makes us stupid? Did you know that giving it to kids should be labeled child abuse at this point? In my humble opinion. So let me know. And please do subscribe if you are so inclined. It would make me so happy. And I thank you all so much. Love you guys. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.